Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, evidence keeps coming to me as it relates to my father. And it is almost numbing when I start putting two and two together as it relates to not only his personal conduct and behavior, but how it ties into the entire diocesan priest abuse situation. My father was legal counsel from the age of 24 until he left DBL law, formerly Deters And DBL, probably a decade ago. However, even since then, he has been sought out by Bishop Foys on numerous legal matters and advice. I remember growing up, and the entire time we grew up on Green Road, there were priests, nuns, clergy, bishops at our house all the time. And we children were used as props to show off my dad's family. And all of my siblings have to remember this. And never thought anything of it. By the way, just to let you know, I went to Latin school and attended Latin school the year after Father Bierman got kicked out. However, I'll never forget going on a camp out where all the freshman boys went on a camp out down in Grant County, and we set up our tent, and the guys that I were with came walking up to a lake, and they're swimming completely freaking naked in this lake. Going down the zip line was a guy named Tom Quigley, speech teacher, and Father Paul Arbogast. It made me as uncomfortable as hell, and I turned around and left. Bishop Foys recently released a list of all those priests that were involved in abuse. Father Paul Arbogast was one of them. And I remember telling that story to an attorney that was representing somebody against Father Arbogast. Can you imagine my disgust when someone who's known my father since the 1960s reports to me a similar type of a situation relating to my dad? I got it all recorded. I got it all transcribed. But recently, and especially after my video, stories are coming to me, and I've agreed to protect the anonymity of these individuals. This is one that I got an email on. I'm going to leave out all of it, but it says, which he was more than willing, my dad, to let me, the boy, take out after trying to make me take Viagra with the priest he let vacation there, saying, here, take it with this wine. I was 17 at this time. That was 2003. That priest I know to be Father Paul Burchide. Paul Burchide was the Catholic priest at St. Cecilia at the time. He used my parents' condo for vacation. He was at the house all the time. And you know what else that son of a bitch did? He wrote a letter to me, 3 pages long, firing me as a Sunday school teacher because I was going to a Christian church to listen to my friend priest in addition to going to weekly mass. And you know what the son of a bitch put in the letter? That I was going to lose my soul for going to that Christian church, and all of my children would lose their souls too. And that guy's popping Viagra at my parents' condo trying to have sex with a 17-year-old. So all this stuff starts coming to me. Do you know who was legal counsel for all those years to the bishop and the priest covering it all up? My dad. And Deters, Benzinger, Lavelle. I then got a story. The former CEO, whose name I'm not going to mention at this time, of St. Elizabeth Medical Center, I got from a credible source. He was running the hospital, was picking up gay boys at the View Park. Great friend of my father's. So all this stuff starts coming to me, and I start putting it together, and I realize my father was part of the whole freaking thing. He was part of the cover-up. I'll never forget going to one trial. They had a trial. His name was Sexton, okay, against Father Bierman. I'll never forget going to sit in a trial. I was a law clerk at the time. And the whole defense was, well, in the 1950s and 60s, we just prayed for them and moved them. And you all know that scandal. Now, this is where the story gets even better. You're probably blown away right now. Well, it's going to even get better. And I didn't realize, and I want to apologize to the world for not going public with this earlier. Back in 2013, someone brings to me evidence that the Bishop Foys is engaged in a sexual relationship with a Anthony Targos, Targos, up in Steubenville, where he's from. He came from Steubenville, Ohio, to the current diocese. Do you know, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm just putting two and two together. Do you know who, after getting my letter, Bishop Foy sent to talk to me? My dad. Do you know that the bishop wrote a large check to this person to shut them up? From an account that apparently he had discretion to use without anybody on the diocesan finance committee knowing about. By the way, I'm not obligated to any confidentiality whatsoever on that. None. Only the person who brought the information forward. The guy was sending Bishop Foy's nude pictures. My father obviously is a pedophile. Last night, I was getting texts and emails that confirmed, in addition to all the other information that I had. And he was the go-to guy from the diocese for all those years to cover up this nightmare. He was the consigliere to Bishop Ackerman. Consigliere to Munch, to Hughes, to Foys. And now it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Isn't that unbelievable? He participated in it. By the way, Father Arbogast actually went to Latin school and graduated in the 1945 class with my father. It's unfreaking believable. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I just want everybody to know I had no clue that my dad was part of this until recently.